Hi guys, Romie here. Look, this is what it is right now. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for uh, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 10, Episode 5, Petty Party. Now, this is finally some stuff that I can get behind. It's really sad. It's really sad. A show like this just needs some foolery. It does, and tonight was full of it. From beginning to end, it was full of it. And so I said, okay, sidebar. I'm going to make this very clear. If there was stuff edited out of this episode, that's not my fault. I'm going based on what I saw. So we get back to the argument between Kenya and Kim. Now let's all agree that Kim did start that argument. Kim started that argument. She doesn't like Kenya. That's perfectly fine. I was actually okay with it only because Kenya has been known to purposely ruffle feathers and then kind of, she plants the grenade and then she backs off and say, oh my God, they may blow up. They may blow up. So that was my one thing. Here's the issue with Kim. My issue with Kim is that Kim was hearing things. Now again, unless production went and did the whammy and edited that part out because, I don't know, it will make Kenya look bad. And we know they don't care about making Kenya look bad. Let's be clear about that. So, especially if we're talking about ratings purposes. And so, Kim was saying that she got so upset and she was trying to go after Kenya and that all these women, everyone was trying to stop her. Mind you, didn't you notice how Lisa Wu was originally sitting with them and then got out of there as soon as the foolery started? Corey came, got his wife, then went outside. Nene went and talked to her for a moment like, Kim, what's going on? Why did you listen to her? Why did you go and get baby by her? But why would you go over the top and do all that mess in my house type of thing? But she had to be fake calm because remember, Greg, he was just dealing with coming out of the hospital. So Nene had to be as calm and tranquil as possible. We see that Kim goes over to Portia's house because Portia truly does live down the street. Right down the street to Nene. The level of petty, I love it. And that's when Portia was there playing with the wigs, and they were like, who's at the door? I didn't know, girl, what's going on? And so then they sit down on Portia's couch. Now there's two dual conversations going on. The conversation at Portia, and because Sheree went with Kim to keep Kim calm because again Kenya came out and was just like started saying, oh why now here's my whole thing with the argument in general. Kim put the stuff out there jokingly about Brielle. Kenya used that to her advantage because Kenya was saying that, oh, Brielle was saying stuff about her, but of course she wasn't going to go at her because she was a kid. Let Nene do that because Nene doesn't care. We know Nene doesn't care, as we'll soon see later on. But she was just like, clearly I want to say something in general because like, oh, so you're the one that's going and saying all this stuff to your daughter and poisoning the mind. My issue is I know what I said in the last video, but I want to be very clear. I'm not like, oh my gosh, Kenya, you said something about her daughter. Oh my gosh, you just took it way too far. You just took it way too far. I'm looking at this like Kenya used information that you jokingly put out there against you. You were going at Kenya. Kenya does what she normally does, goes for the juggler, something that Kim used to do all the time. You two are actually equally yoked. That's why I don't have pity for either of you. That's my real thing. I don't care about either one of you in this situation. Kenya said what she said because Kim was coming after her. And, Kim doesn't like Kenya. They've had issues in the past. And so then Kim, her whole purpose of being on the show is to rattle stuff. So what? She wanted to get rattled today. She got rattled by Kenya. And then she wanted to shake back. While they were at Portia's house, then they're recounting the story, and here goes Sheree looking at Kim like, what is Kim talking about? Because Kim's saying how, that Kenya said, you sold your daughter, essentially sold your daughter off for John Legend tickets for your, sick son, or your injured son. Now, again, I never heard that. We never heard that. If that even possibly came out of Kenya's mouth, which honestly I don't believe. I really don't believe. So the other little thing I want to make sure I throw in there was some public backlash because people felt like people were already irritated about the whole gays and gals title for the party, but when I guess Kenya was saying how get your reassignment surgery or finish up with it and move the D you have. A lot of people felt like that was transphobic, so I guess I wanted to bring that up just to say that, yeah, I saw them saying that. Honestly, I wasn't focused on anything like that, because I was just focused on, this is sad, because why am I entertained? Why am I entertained? I'm like, dang, it's messed up, but this show does need some of this foolery. It really does. It's sad, but it really does. Now we get to Cynthia. Cynthia was standing up for her friend. His friend being Kenya. Cynthia was just like, now wait a minute now, guys. Can we all disagree that Kim started? Which, yes, Kim definitely did start. Kenya was in La La Land before that. And Kenya, again, when it comes to the kids, I don't agree with that. But, Kenya was defending herself at that point. She wasn't the aggressor in this situation. It's one of the rare times where she really wasn't. So I can't go and harp on her. Nene doesn't like it because Nene feels like, oh, so you want to go and defend your little friend. You want to go and defend your little friend, Kenya, and you two are just going to go in La La Land. You're going to go and kiss this. We know this is how Nene always gets when Cynthia is showing a lot of attention to another female friend. Nene is okay with it as long as Cynthia isn't just pretty much following up under her. Under that other female friend. Once that starts happening, that's when Nene starts making these side comments. And I said, I'm not falling for it this time around. We've always... Why am I saying we? I didn't do it. But a lot of people would bash Cynthia for being flaky. Cynthia, for once, that's not true. Cynthia, this time around, isn't being flaky. And she's really standing in her grown womanish. I guess it's the whole thing about being 50. And I'm not going to fault her for that. I'm actually not. I know some people are like, oh, why is it? Hello? She's on the show. You're not going to like every little thing that she does. Heck, you're probably not going to like her as long as she stays on the show for one reason or another. So I'm not going to go out my way to act like I had a problem with her defending Kenya. I'm glad Cynthia finally really stood her ground. Because normally she's like, and she started to do that showing both sides. But she said, no. Let's be very clear. This is the side I'm on. This is the side I'm riding for. This is the side that, look, if someone is there to shoot out, I know where to duck, where not to duck, and I'm fine with that. So let's just recap because I've spent way too much time talking about this. Kenya was provoked. Kenya said the stuff involving her daughter. Obviously, most of us wouldn't do that, but I can't go and tell someone how to react. I can't. I can, but they don't have to listen. So, and Kim wanted to provoke Kenya in that instance. I was fine with it because Kenya used to do that to people all the time. This whole putting 20 on 10 unless production cut it out, because no one else said, and production loves to go and ish on these ladies like, oh, so you thought you said no. This is what really happened. There's no purpose for them to go and hold on to this for later. There isn't. There truly isn't, unless something horrible happens later on that we don't know about. No. But, so, that's my stance. I don't think Kenya said what Kim thought she said. For Kim to go and justify that she was acting like that. I'm like, you were saying all this stuff before that even... Anyway. Okay, so just to recap, if you don't agree... Oh, well. Now we get to Candy. Candy's in the studio, and oh, Ace. That's so cute. Clearly, Ace is used to Don Juan, because Ace ran right to Don Juan. But Candy's just kind of going over the fact that things are still kind of weird. A
lot going on because Sheree even reached out.
Yeah, and Sheree said that she wants to do a trip to San Francisco, and Candy has a lot business-wise going on. She already feels guilty about not spending as much time with her son. And so then in comes Sheree, and I said, look at Sheree with the braids. And Sheree, of course, being the bone carrier, because Don Juan was saying, you have to watch out because Sheree's intel's it's not necessarily accurate. But I appreciate the fact that he told it to her face right then and there as well, like, I don't know and all that. So then Sheree goes and she tells the story, and the way how Kim saw it. And Sheree did say, look, I didn't hear Kenya saying all that, but if that's what Kim heard, I mean, there's just so much going on. So I don't know. But Sheree wants everyone to go to San Francisco, just have a good time. It's a part of her whole therapy thing, session, life coach session. And she's inviting everyone. Everyone. Candy's willing to go because Candy's like, there's going to be a lot of mess. There'll be entertainment. I don't necessarily want to see a couple of them, but if that's what I have to do, if that's what I have to do to get to see some mess happen, then that's what I'm going to have to do to see some mess happen. Cynthia, Noelle, she's in town, and so they're doing this cupcake decorating, and that's nice and all, but the main thing was we hear from Noelle that she's not thinking about going to, I guess, Charlotte anymore, and her issue is her boyfriend, he's kind of an all or nothing. She actually wants to just take some time apart, as far as school, whatever, have fun, and then she feels like it really could be meant to be, so they could come back together years later. Her boyfriend's like, nah, I don't play those games. Either you're with me now or you're not with me at all. So that pretty much sealed the deal. And I said, wow, this is so grown and so mature. I'm looking at this like, Cynthia, you did good. Noelle's father, dang it, I know his name. Anyway, y'all did good, because I'm listening to Noelle, like, Noelle's like, I've seen this mess multiple times. I'm not trying to get caught up. And I won't be surprised if maybe she has a little potential Atlanta Bay situation, because that's usually the best way to get your head clear. But I'm glad there's some common sense going on over there. And while that's happening, Cynthia talks about how she's on a date. Her date's been going well. It's age appropriate. And she really likes the guy. She really likes William. And so then it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot more of William. We see this little moment with Greg. Greg is doing okay. And that's really the update. He was on like 9 different medication. Nene, because we know she hates all that stuff. So she didn't even really realize how much of that he was dealing with afterwards, but she's there, support him. He's feeling a little bit better. She was just saying how she made sure not to add the plum fool because he knows he's going through some stuff, with the altercation that happened at the house. Now, we see Kenya, and I said, oh, okay, something's actually wrong. And at first, I was looking at this like, if Cynthia is bringing her a bouquet because of her fight with Kim, that's what I'm gonna flip. But no. It was because Kenya's grandmother, who raised her essentially as her daughter, not even as her, granddaughter, as her daughter, passed away. Remember, Kenya's mother gave her away because I think, was it for religious reasons or whatever reason she's had, she pretty much cast Kenya aside. Now we know Kenya's story. And so there was even the video of, I guess, the last time Kenya was with her, and she was in the hospital, and she was just saying how the mother wanted to give her away, but she said no, don't give her away, don't give her to anyone else, give her to me. And it just sucks because it's like, dang, the person who was really your mother figure dying, especially Kenya's only like 40 something, so it really hit her hard, as it should. And so then Cynthia's like, so do you think you're going to go to San Francisco? And she was like, I'm not even sure. And I said, that's fair. This is real and legitimate. You don't need to go. There's going to be a lot of mess. What are you doing? Do not go. Now, we see Sheree. She's talking to her kids and telling them, don't go and throw no house party. There's cameras everywhere. I am not kidding. Because she was like, Cairo's the type that he'll take pictures of everything to make sure that everything looks a certain way. Go and have a party. Fix it all up. I said, oh, a mess. So Cynthia is FaceTiming her boo. I mean, sorry, just her pal, and he wants to take her on another date. She's just like, sure. Portia is a baby vegan, and she's afraid of, Lord, if she's out for Element in San Francisco, what is it she's going to eat? I said, okay, moving on. Brent goes and gets the door because Marlo's downstairs. And I said, wow, this has been a long time coming. So Marlo's officially back. I looked at Nini's walk-in apartment. I can't even call it a walk-in closet. Not walk, but walk-in apartment. Look at this. All those clothes. Look at this. All those clothes. But the size of it, I'm looking at this like, it's larger than my room combined with my bathroom combined with the like the office, if you will. I'm like, dang, pretty much half my downstairs. Jesus. Goals. That's goals right there. Love it. Love all of it. So she's showing Marlo all of her things, and while they're talking, the whole thing about Sheree has this thing in San Francisco. I want to invite you. I know you were invited, but I want to invite you. It's going to be... And she's like, oh, how do you think the other girls feel? It doesn't matter because Nini's essentially shoring up. And what that means is she needs someone on her side because she knows that Portia's going to be there. Excuse me. Portia's going to be there, and she can't rely on Cynthia because Cynthia's going to be buddy-buddy with Kenya. And you could tell on Marlo's face, like, now, wait a minute now. Are you really jealous about Cynthia being buddy-buddy with Kenya? She's like, no, Cynthia is pretty much right up in Kenya's butt, and I'm over it. I'm over it because I don't understand how. I don't understand how. How, why, but I said, oh, Nini, you're doing it again. Cynthia has another friend, and you basically want her to take a side. That's not her. That's not Kenya's. Okay. All right. So now we're at the airport. Sheree comes first. Portia gets there second, but she has 5 things of look. Portia's saying, look, she's on a trip with a bunch of people that may not like her, so she needs to go and stunt. Candy comes in third, and that's when it's awkward because Candy isn't talking to Portia. She's paying Portia absolutely no mind. So Sheree has to go and kind of fill them in on everything that's been going on. And the fact that Kim isn't going. I said, what? Kim isn't. So why does she have a contract? Why does she have a contract? What's the point of her being? So she's not going. All right. All right. She's not an official housewife. That's what that means. And part of me was kind of happy because I said, that would have been just really, really too much drama. Truly too much drama. Everyone else is going to come a little bit later. And Marlo, she's going to be there in California because she has to pick up a car. She's going to get her car from there. Now, on the bus, we also see that Nini made it, Kenya made it, and they're sitting next to each other because, you know, let bygones be bygones. It's interesting because Sheree's just saying how she's doing this because of her therapy, not therapy, because her life coach. And I'm just happy. Sheree's never been this upfront with personal information, so I like it.
Honey, I have directing this coming in. Whoever wants to hear it.
Nini put out a warning about, look, if anyone has any issues, concerns, speak now, forever hold your peace. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's going to be a mess.
When was the last time you had some?
Okay, so that was the conversation. When was the last time each person had some? Cynthia's like, it's been 5 months or a couple of months. Or maybe Cynthia kind of skirted away from the conversation. Portia said 5 months. And Candy was laughing. And she was cackling, actually, like, you lying. You lying. That was stop playing us. Stop playing us. And then Portia's like, wait a minute, why are you laughing? You know why we're laughing. You know why we're laughing. When it came to Sheree was like, oh, well, you made some time last year. No. And then Nini said, I know you, Sheree. So your version of sex, is that like with the nipples or... was it everything? And then once they started playing Inspector Gadget, it was like, so was it because you couldn't have sex with this person? It's like, yes, this person unavailable to do so. Yeah. Oh, you got your man? Yeah. Tyrone. I said, oh Lord, call Tyrone. And then he was like, wait a minute, Tyrone in jail? No, because Kenya was like, because Kenya pretty much was like, yeah, Tyrone should do, right? And then he was like, wait, in jail, Tyrone? Tyrone that was trying to give you the dirt on me years ago, Tyrone? Remember when Nene and Sheree had that big argument, and they did the whole Nene was like, oh, well, I got me a Trump check, because Sheree was saying that, you know, she can call Tyrone right now and get all of the information. Yeah, she's dating that same Tyrone, which we already knew, but she confirmed it. She's dating him, and she didn't know that he was in trouble when he was about to go in prison. And so because like they stopped talking, and now she realized they stopped talking because he was about to go away. So he was trying to make sure that she wasn't caught up in all of that. And she was like, she really likes him. They've known each other for years, so he really knows her. And then Nene was like, wow, this life coach is amazing. Miss Carry the Bones, except for her own Sheree giving us all this information without us prying it. Growth. And it is. It's definitely growth, because Sheree is that one to go and want to get information from everyone else, and then when it comes to her own. And you can't be that way. If you're trying to go and be nosy, you have to be able to at least give people something. So now they get to the hotel, and Marlo is there. Nene met Marlo. Marlo wants to wear this black like bunny veil get up. And Denise was like, look, I have time for this. You just be ready and on time so that we can go down there together, so that we can deal with these ladies. And Sheree didn't change. She just stayed in her little, you know, jumpsuit get up. And everyone's kind of looking like, so we got dolled up. We could have just went straight to dinner. What? See, now you're playing around with us. But that wasn't the, you know, heavy thing. Once Marlo came, and everyone sat down, they had themselves a nice drink, then that's when things went left, because now it's the situation of, all right, time for everyone to be honest, and just, there's an elephant in the room. And the elephant is, who was at Nene's party? So then we're talking about Portia, and how now it's this whole issue of a couple of things. Portia's upset because she's trying to say, look, you're trying to get me kicked off of my job, and I'm tired of you acting like, oh, you did all this for me, you did all that for me. Like, you've purposely done stuff to try and ruin my life or ruin my livelihood, and then you want me to go and kiss your butt and be goody-goody and friends with you? What is that? And then Nene's just looking at her like, I've been trying to be your friend, Portia. I've been the one that's had your back. I've been the one that's trying to make sure that you didn't get into trouble. And while Nene was getting upset and raising her voice, Marlo was fixing her butt. I said, oh my God, you guys really are friends again. She's trying to make sure you stay cute. Anyway, while all that's happening, tensions are slowly increasing. At one point, Candy was just like, I was trying to help old girl out, but I'm not trying to, Because Nene went from, you know what, you're a bad friend, Portia, because I tried to have your back, and then you went and talked about me at your job, on your job. So I went and said something about you, because why not? And it's weird, though, because Kenya almost partially came to the defense of, not really of Portia, but kind of just trying to diffuse the whole situation, which I was a little surprised by. I said, what is going on here? And then, but Portia's stance in general is, she doesn't understand why Nene's acting so entitled to be upset when she's the one that was talking all this stuff. Nene's trying to figure out, what did she do to deserve Portia's to go and flip on her when she was so good to her? And I'm saying, wait a minute, so you two aren't hearing a word that either of you are saying. And then Nene again tried to go and put Candy, you know, it's like, okay, maybe if I use someone else. So then she was like, you know, you were a bad friend to Candy, look at what you did to Candy, and you expect me, how are you a good person when you went and did that to someone who you're supposed to be close to and all that. I said, okay. I enjoyed it. I did. I can't be fake about it. I enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe. This will be gone. Oh, not the hair will be gone. I mean, this will be a lot neater and just back compared to what I'm doing now. I just woke up from a nice little nap. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think. I'm sure some of you won't agree with the word that I've said. I don't care. Woo!